Today I'm going to explain the sci-fi movie The Day After Tomorrow, released in the year 2004. The movie is about the world's weather, which becomes very dangerous due to global warming, and a huge area of Earth is covered by sea and ice storms, which causes a new ice age. But before we begin to tell you the story, please subscribe to our channel, as we really need your support to grow and keep making these amazing recaps. Thanks from the team of IMDb 8 Recap if you have subscribed, and beware of the spoilers. The movie opens in Antarctica, where Jack Hall, a NOAA paleoclimatologist, is conducting research with his two colleagues, Frank Harris and Jason Evans. They have been drilling through the ice at Larson and collecting samples. Jack tells Jason to drill, and he goes to the camp to keep the sample. Outside, the ice shelf suddenly breaks, and Jason is saved from falling into the ravine by Frank and Jack. The entire continent is rifted, sending some of their samples to the other side of the rift. Jack does not want to lose these samples and risks his life to jump to the other side of the rift and retrieve them. We then see Jack giving his presentation at the United Nations conference held in Delhi, where he warns of the climate shift due to global warming in the next several hundred years. He suggests they take steps in advance. The representatives of some countries there, including the Vice President of the United States, do not believe in Jack's theory. But one of the scientists, Terry Rapson, agrees with Jack and meets Jack after the conference to talk about it. Jack returns home and calls his wife, Lucy Hall. She is a doctor by profession. She tells him that her son Sam Hall will be going to New York for a competition, so she should come to drop him off at the airport. The next day, Jack comes to pick up Sam on time. Because of the nature of his work, Jack doesn't get to spend much time with his family, but he still cares for them. Arriving at the airport, Sam quickly leaves for his flight without further ado. In the flight we see that Sam is quite nervous. He is accompanied by his two friends, Laura Chapman and Brian Parks. Then the plane shakes violently, and Sam becomes very nervous and grabs Laura's hand. Soon the flight stabilizes, and they arrive safely in New York. Terry Rapson then returns to the Headland Climate Research Center in Scotland, where he tracks ocean currents around the world. His two colleagues, Simon and Dennis, also work there with him. Brian tells Terry that one of the buoys isn't working properly because it's showing a temperature drop of 13 degrees. But when Terry checks, not one but two buoys are showing a 13-degree low temperature, and then a third buoy also starts giving warnings, which means that the current in the North Atlantic Ocean has lost its balance and the temperature has dropped 13 degrees. The climate of the whole world has started to change mysteriously and has become worse. Ball-sized hailstones suddenly start raining down in Tokyo, causing much destruction and killing many people, and 5 huge tornadoes hit the city of Los Angeles simultaneously, destroying the entire city. Professor Terry calls Jack and informs him of the changing weather. Hearing this, Jack gets shocked because, according to his research, this climate shift was supposed to come after about 100 years. When NOAA sets up a team for the worldwide weather crisis, Jack once again tries to convince the Vice President of the United States to come up with a strategy, but the Vice President won't listen. Janet Tokata, a NASA meteorologist, wants to help Jack because she thinks he is right. Now Jack develops a new forecast model in which he also uses data from Professor Terry and Janet. On the other hand, in New York, Sam is in academic competition with his colleagues. There they befriend a rich student named JD. Sam likes Laura but hasn't told her yet, and now JD seems eager to be friends with Laura. The weather in New York has also turned bad, and it is raining very heavily. All air traffic has been stopped due to weather conditions. Jack calls Sam to inquire about his well-being. Sam comforts him and assures him that he will be back by train soon. 2 astronauts in a satellite in space are very surprised to see this weather change on Earth. At once, huge hurricanes begin to appear in 3 parts of world. They also sent this image to NASA. Janet shares this data with Jack, and he is deeply disturbed by it. Sam goes with his friends to JD's apartment so they can go to the train station. But soon they see in the news that all the subways have been filled with water due to rain, and those people are now stuck in New York. JD has to go pick up his younger brother from the hostel. Sam and the others go with him. But due to the flood, the vehicles are stuck, so they move forward by walking. The sea begins to rise over New York City. The whole city gets flooded. They face a lot of trouble due to the water, so they think of taking shelter in the New York Public Library like the others. Then on the way, Laura's leg is hurt by a car, but she helps a mother and her child trapped in a taxi regardless. As Laura returns to the cab to retrieve the woman's bag, Sam sees a huge tidal wave coming towards them. He draws Laura's attention to this, and they both run to the library. The entire city has been submerged in the sea for about 40 feet. A large number of survivors are sheltered in the library. Sam calls his parents from the landline to inform them that he is fine. Jack promises him that he will come get him. Thomas, the NOAA administrator, sets up a meeting for Jack with the US president. Jack is very upset because he has faced rejection from the beginning. But he meets the president and tells him that this coming storm will prove to be very dangerous, and after it passes, they will be in a new ice age. The president asks him to suggest Jack. He says that the entire southern part of the state should be evacuated and sent to Mexico. The president orders the evacuation of the south. Jack leaves for Manhattan, and Sam, Frank, and Jason decide to go with him. They load all their luggage into the car and leave, but soon realize that they can't travel any further in the car because of the snowstorm. That's why they put on snow boots and start the journey ahead. Snow has covered everything. While passing through the roof of a shopping mall, suddenly the glass breaks and Frank falls down. But the three of them are connected by a rope, so Frank survives the fall, but Jason can't bear his weight for long. Frank cuts the rope to save both of them and falls to his death. At New York's Central Library, when people come out to look, all the water has frozen, and many survivors are walking on it. Those people are heading north like the others. Seeing this, everyone in the library decides to travel north rather than sit here and wait for their deaths. Sam tries to stop them, but no one listens. Under the guidance of a police officer, everyone leaves. Besides Sam and his companions, there is a librarian and two other people staying in the library. They all go to a room in the library where there is no wood in the fireplace. They burn books and make fires to keep themselves warm as the temperature drops with every passing moment. Few days pass by surveying these people in this way. For food and drink, they are using vending machines. Suddenly one night Laura had a fever, and the next morning she was very ill and wouldn't wake up. It is then that they find out that the injury that she got on her leg a few days ago has become infected. If she is not given medicine in time, she may die. Sam can't see Laura in this state, so he guesses that a ship that came with the ocean waves outside the library must have medicines. The US president is the last to leave, but the vice president at Camp Shelter, Mexico, receives word that the president's helicopter has been hit by a storm. Everyone is saddened to hear this news. Sam decides to go there, and Brian and J.D. go with him. They find the medicine in the ship's medical room, but another threat sniffs them out and follows them. Some of the wolves escaped from the zoo before the flood, and now they follow Sam and his friends onto the ship. After getting the medicine, they go to the ship's mess to get some preserved food. Then the wolves attack them there. They save their lives and lock themselves in a room. They have very little time. Sam distracts the wolves by escaping through the window and locking them in a room. During the wolf attack, JD's leg was bitten by a wolf, leaving him unable to walk. So, he is put into a lifeboat and pulled back to the library by Sam and Brian. Then the eye of the hurricane engulfs the place, and the temperature drops below -150 degrees. Before those people become ice statues like the others, they reach the library room safely. Sam stokes the fire. On the other hand, when Jack sees the eye of the hurricane, he drops the unconscious Jason through a vent into a building and goes into it himself. He comes to the kitchen and tries to save himself by quickly lighting the fire. When Jason wakes up, all the stoves in the kitchen are burning, and the guys have been through a huge storm. After that, they travel further, and finally Jack reaches Manhattan. They spend the night there, pitching a tent. Jason tells Jack that Sam may not be able to survive with the way things have been, but Jack says he made a promise to his son and he will keep it. When Jack and Jason wake up the next morning, the storm is over and the sky is clear. They exist in a new ice age. They both reach the library. They see some light from under a room. As Jack frantically opens the door, Sam rests along with the rest of the survivors. Sam is overjoyed to see his father. Thomas comes to the new president of the US, who is the former vice president, and tells him that Jack has arrived safely in New York and that his son is fine. He is very happy to hear this and gives the order to send a rescue helicopter for them as soon as possible. When the rescue team arrives in New York, Jack and the survivors are on their way out of town. Thomas meets Jack and expresses his joy at seeing him alive. When they are going back, they are very happy to see that there are many survivors on the roofs of the buildings, meaning that someone besides them has faced the storm and survived. The president gives his first address and thanks the countries that helped them in these situations. When astronauts look at Earth from a satellite after a storm, they are surprised to see it free of all pollution. Overall, The Day After Tomorrow is a great movie to watch with an amazing storyline, so make sure to check it out. To watch many more exciting recaps like this, don't forget to subscribe, as that's the only way we can keep making these fantastic recaps, and like this video. Let us know in the comments section about your next favorite movie that you would like us to recap. Thanks again for watching and stay safe and healthy.